with Boeing. Down about 8%. We have UOA, unusual option activity in this one for today. In other words, did we precede it? Did we have it last week? I'm not saying we did, but we have it today. People are betting that it goes below 160 because they're buying the 160 puts. And Boeing, according to a number of folks that looked at it, including one of the top analysts in the field, he said, you know what? I'm taking my target down. I don't like the way this thing's shaping up. And it's a prove it to me state right now for the new CEO. So he's got some proving to do because Boeing, a new 52-week low today, Pete, 158.30.
Ouch is number one. And it's a 52-week low, like you said. 267 was the high, John. So it's a company that we've been watching almost every day. Everybody has. It's all about, the safety and the concerns. And it seems like there's a story. Always, it seems like on the negative side. Now you've got a new CEO who's going to have to take over for this thing. They've lost $15 billion in market cap over the last 6 months. I mean, Boeing just can't seem to fly right, no pun intended. But when you look at Wells Fargo, they're talking about 119 is now the target. 119. We're trading, call it 158, 160, whatever. They're looking for something very, very negative to continue on. It's not like it just suddenly came up. Continuing to see this thing go further down. And they actually changed what their thoughts, and they moved it to underweight as well. There's not a whole lot of positives that I can take out of this other than the fact that at least the Chinese, and they are not necessarily our friends, but they started buying those 737 Maxes, John, again, a while back. And that could be something that might at least help and put a little Band-Aid onto a wound. The problem is the wound's pretty damn big and the Band-Aid's pretty small.
Yeah, it's, and Pete, there's space side of Boeing because, of course, they basically stranded 2 astronauts up there.
Yeah.
And, Elon Musk is going to help out, supposedly, by sending, one of his Falcon 9s or whatever up there to rescue those astronauts. Otherwise, with Boeing, Pete, they're talking about those astronauts being up there for a couple years because Boeing can't get a safe spacecraft up there to get them down. That's a pretty tight space to be with somebody, stuck with somebody for a couple of years for a mission that was supposed to be a couple weeks. Let me tell you that. You'd be going stir crazy, I think, if you're somebody up there.
Can you imagine? I mean, honestly, I can't even imagine. You're sitting there up in outer space. I mean, the worst thing that can happen outside of being killed or dead or something is being alive and knowing you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
That's just brutal. God.
Well, like Alien always says, Pete, in space, no one can hear you scream.
Yeah. Jesus.
There's a new Alien movie coming out. That's where that's from, folks. But it's also from the first Aliens.